Real quick video. This is an amazing book by Whitney Webb, One Nation Under Blackmail. It's got a pazillion footnotes, citations, and it's going to be really valuable. You guys have got to get a physical copy. But she's really gifted at just making a book that's fun to read. And I'm just at this aha moment. So in Canada, there was prohibition. It was initially a federal matter, and the Bronfman family was able to basically, like, it seems like a dialectic principle or some kind of something that they do over and over again. But I wrote down here that they had these temperance Templars and these temperance organizations where they made it illegal, and they had people rooting for alcohol, getting rid of it. So then they had a bunch of loopholes to where the Bronfmans could exploit it, sending alcohol through mail order. And then there was the federal ban, which made it illegal, and then they needed doctors. And that just flipped my switch, like, oh my gosh. So they went from working in gray areas. This is Bronfman dynasty. And several brothers set up mail order liquor business throughout two provinces, profited handsomely. However, federal prohibition came with loopholes, of course. So there's got to be a gray area. There's got to be somewhere to exploit. It's like almost like an alchemical process. So for medicinal purposes, so then they prompted the Bronfman family to wholesale drug company that permitted alcohol by bulk, provided to the area pharmacies. So let's see. So blah 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 blah. So they had this hotel, and then right next to the hotel, the doctors offering doctors a bonus for each liquor prescription they wrote, and the prescription was filled at the pharmacy who was furnished by the Bronfmans. And what just hit me was like, oh my gosh, I have doctors in my family, and it's always been assumed that doctors are the most, like, you just totally trust doctors with your health, basically. And I think she's going to really show throughout this whole book. And to me, it's like, it's just so explosive that, Jeffrey Epstein was not the entire network. Like, he was more like a pattern of a typical person. Like, there are literally dozens of billionaire or pedophile islands run by different people. You look at Peter Nygaard. This dude he only owns half of an island, and he was getting into legal disputes with his neighbor. But to me, it looks like they're doing up to the same type of stuff. Like rumors that Leslie Wexner was having every year sacrificing a woman, so that he can get better sales through his underwear. So, and then look how they've basically used doctors to sexualize children, and to, the whole registration and using doctors and the whole official system, making things sound on the up and up, having doctors that are really compassionate, and then telling their kid, your feelings are legitimate, and, eventually them going through with, castrating or mutilating the genitals, and that child will never be able they'll never be okay. So in the old world, I think none of this would have gotten. I don't think we were properly satanic enough. The brainwashing wasn't complete enough. They couldn't just put that stuff. The average, people would have revolted 100 years ago if, they would have done this tranny stuff that they're doing here in, my town. A formerly small Christian town in the Bible Belt in Northwest Arkansas. So it's like, you guys need to get prayed up, like this is, and also, what's the Bible verse? My people die for lack of understanding or wisdom, but I mean, I think it's really important that we read and we get actually well-sourced documents to try to get ourselves up to speed, to try to actually figure out, what's going on. Like, get over here to, like, look at these citations. Like, I mean, it's just insane. Like the first chapter, talking, so this is, about organized crime and intelligence. And it's just got, 100 references. And several of those are, things that I would like to dig up and, to cross-reference and just as a valuable tool. So anyway, blessings to you guys. Thank you, Miss Whitney, for putting your effort into this. And I hope you guys will buy her book.